Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back with more reactions for Supergirl. This time on to episode 9 of season 6. Came back with a pretty good season, mid-season premiere. Came back with a pretty good mid-season premiere. Kara finally returning home, a great welcome party organised by the lovely peeps at the Watchtower, minus Kelly. Kelly was the only star missing, that's why, as you remember, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but in her place, Lena was there. Lena was there doing her own kind of thing and helping the team and like preparing for her own journey of self-exploration and everything. But Kara came back. Kara came back, and she was rife with trauma. She was rife with her own trauma from her time in the Phantom Zone with her dad, and she kept on having visions of the Phantoms and different kind of nightmares that just kept building up and building up. And then in the end, she finally opened up to Alex about the fact that not only had she actually been through stuff, but she never really gave herself time to actually process it or to actively kind of deal with it in like necessary ways. So hopefully going forward we get something good with that, and we actually get her dealing with that and actually talking with her. Now this episode, I think this episode is likely the one with Kelly coming back. I think because I think at the end of the last one, Lena did call up Nia and tell her that she was actually going to go. Like she never gave herself a chance to actually get to know her mother, or to actually kind of find out who her mother was in the midst of her own grief, in the midst of her own kind of self-inflicted kind of shame and kind of torment and everything. So she was going to go back to Ireland and see who her mother was, and see where she came from, and actually understand more of her kind of birth kind of place and everything. So that's cool. So he's going to go then. So I think now with like what with like I think especially because of like restrictions and everything, with one less kind of co-star being with one co-star taking an episode off, that it gives them ample opportunity to bring Ozzy in and to actually have Kelly back on the show too. So it should be very, very fun. I think, as much as some people in the fandom might dislike about the show, I think the vast majority of us can all agree Kelly Olsen is a fucking legend. She is golden. She's a legend. She deserved all the screen time she can get, and Ozzy definitely uses that screen time and character content and the character interactions to her advantage. She gets along with basically everyone, and it's because she loves people and she loves everyone. So I cannot wait to see what this episode has in store for us. But yeah, hopefully she's coming back, and with her having her history in psychology and actual and helping people with their issues. I mean, I think I again don't really. I think she was a psychologist in the army, so I think she did kind of she did have some experience dealing with trauma as well. But I was gonna say because she actually handed what's his name, Jimmy, forgot Jimmy. I mean, he has been on here for a while, so you can't really blame me. But she handed Jimmy's over to another ones, but I think that could have been like a professional thing, as well. Like you're actually kind of like I think dealing with someone and dealing with a family member especially can I think provide like a not a conflict of interest, if that's not the right term. I think it can just especially with like stuff like counseling and therapy, it's a lot. I think for a lot of people it's a lot easier to actually deal with someone you don't know, like an actual stranger who you can actually open up to a lot easier. I think because that she transferred him to someone else that she knew as who was equally good with dealing with trauma patients. So with this one, I think it could still work. I think with this one it could definitely still work. I think she's always opened herself up to actually helping, especially back in the episode of Jeremiah's funeral. She immediately opened herself up to Alex, to Alex actually opening up to her and actually like unloading her kind of stress, and she was telling her how she was doing and how she was feeling. So I see no reason why she can't help Alex or Kara with their individual traumas in this episode. So again, I really just can't wait to see what they have Kelly do in this one. So that should be very fun. That should be fun. But speaking of Nia, she had a dream at the very end about Nixley. I think with Kara's dad, with Zora having actually finally decided to return to Argo to be with Allura again, I think it kind of taking him out of the episode also brings in opportunities to actually bring in the other stowaway that they picked up off the Phantom Zone too. So I think Nixley being Nixley, she definitely is going to have a role to play in this. She hitched a ride and she's nowhere to be seen, so I think this episode might be the one where she finally makes her appearance and kind of, you know, monologues her plans for destruction and chaos and some fifth dimensional kind of mischief in National City. So should be fun. But yeah, I think and Zor-El too. We had a fun time with him. He was trying so hard. He was trying so hard to save the Earth, not only to save the Earth, but to also save it from the same fate as Krypton. He actually analyzed the Earth's different kind of environmental damages and things, and found out that it was actually close to the exact same tipping point that took Krypton off the radar as well. So he was intent on that. But then his own trauma of doing so much, but then being unable to save Krypton, also kind of prevented him from being able to differentiate Earth from Krypton, actually trying to go at it the exact same way without realizing that, you know, Earth still has its own differences and its own kind of its own populational kind of issues and everything. So yeah, he tried his best. He tried his thing, and he was great as Uncle Archie too. He was great as Uncle Archie. So he went back to Argo City. So I mean, and he can easily live on what remains of Krypton with his wife, and they can maybe wait. I mean, I don't know if Kara's going to go there at the end or what's going to happen. I mean, I've heard that's actually a theory that Kara could easily just leave National City and actually move to Argo with her parents, and then, you know, National City could easily be in the hands of Dreamer and Guardian and Sentinel, like just yeah. But either way, I guess there's only telling what will happen at the end, and if it builds up to something as beautiful and as spin-off worthy as that, then I guess we'll see. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from the last one, so on to episode number 9. So yeah, on to the reaction, and as you guys will know by now, this one will just be the fair use version with the highlights and the best bits, but if you want to watch the full-length version of the reaction, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. That'll be just as much fun. So yeah, Supergirl, season 6, episode 9. Let's go. Oh, it's her mother. Oh, goddamn branches. Oh, it's Nia. Oh. Nixley, what are you doing in Nia's dream vision? What are you doing?
And go. Okay. She should.
Jelly Kelly.
Jelly
Kelly.
Amore. Dean Martin.
Yes.
Easy.
What are they? These?
Typewriters? Tom Hanks. Yes, babe. What?
How'd you get Tom Hanks from typewriters?
This is cheating.
Is this Pictionary or what?
If you know better, I'd say you guys were psychic.
Well, we are starting to finish each other's
Sandwiches. Cute.
Well, whatever it is, living together certainly suits you.
Aw,
It does. It really does.
All right, John, Mia.
God damn it. They're so cute.
Because empathy is your superpower.
Aw,
Okay.
Could you please be just a little more adorable?
They are killing me. They are officially, my cause of death will be dancing. Will be this.
project a big S in the night sky.
Oh, a super signal. Get us a super signal.
We're at number 3. We need to be number 1.
Oh, you're number 3 now. Okay, that's a big boost up from number 8. Oh, damn. She's sleeping standing up. That takes some skill. Sleeping standing up. Granted, she's leaning on a chair, but still.
Sorry, sleep on your own time.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the whole professionalism stuff too, but still, sleeping standing up.
24 hours to get me an interview with
Joey gets monthly visitation with him.
This all started after Joey last saw him. I mean, if you ask me, he's bad news.
Maybe he just misses his brother. Maybe the other kids are antagonizing him. Oh.
sorry.
Girls, I've told
Does she have a power dampener on her hands?
In the house.
Murder took my bread rule. According to the rules, each child is expected to respect the personal property of their housemates. It
She's good.
was
Yeah,
mine.
she knows the rule book.
Is a matter of justice.
Okay.
Oh, she's already taken a shine to Kelly. Is that a power dampener on her hands?
Power dampening cuffs?
Oh, that's a necessary precaution. I mean, with 10 alien children under my care.
Oh, there are 10 alien. I thought she said it was 10 years old. 10
Joey
alien
gets
kids.
angry.
He had dark circles under his eyes.
Oh.
We can infuse our powers a lot. We get sick if we use them too much.
Ah. Oh, so they both have powers. They both have the same powers.
I don't know what you call it. He only robbed that store to get money for a place for us to live. He says we'll be together again when he gets out. But what if his job makes him really sick?
So they can't overuse their
What if
powers.
he dies?
I am gonna do all that I can to help you in Orlando. They contracted with a clothing manufacturer to give jobs to incarcerated workers. From what I saw, they were treated really well.
So if Orlando
They can make it look that way.
why would he need to use his EMP powers?
Maybe they're making him do something else
Because
off
he's
the.
being forced to, or maybe
off the
he's using
books.
them for some self-serving purpose?
Can you help me get in to talk to the warden?
Yeah, of course. Can you guys handle the truck robberies?
Sure, if we discover something, we'll call.
Great. Cara and Kelly teaming up. Very exciting. Very exciting.
In my weakened state, I couldn't cross the barrier into your real world and I got trapped here.
Ah.
Only Naltorians are supposed to be able to enter the dream realm in physical form.
Technically, not only now.
Fifth dimensional beings too.
We can help each other, Nia. If you get me out of this dream realm, I will have enough power to bring your mother back to life.
Oh. That's risky. That's risky business.
Serious infraction of universal law.
That's risky business.
I can only bring your mother back to life for exactly one day.
You know what happens after that one day?
In a snap. It's destiny that we help each other. What'd she say?
She'll think about it. She'll think about it and get back to you. Oh, damn. Okay.
Most people just see prison as a place to punish people.
They see the crime and not the person.
Not us. We respect our workers. We teach them new skills, which helps them re-enter society as valuable and productive members.
Oh, that's Orlando. Oh, he does have bags under his
For someone
eyes.
having all of the opportunities the warden touted,
Yeah.
he doesn't look very happy.
No, he doesn't.
There's got to be some Black Book style of abuse going on here. Abuse of prisoners. Oh, I don't like that guy. I do not like that look at this guy. Not one bit. He has jerk written all over him. In permanent marker.
Why would they be here?
They're being used for something else.
What the boss wants. Anyone tries to stop us, you boys can stop them.
Oh god, I knew I was gonna like this
You
guy.
make a steal, but we don't hurt people.
You do as you're told, or the one getting hurt is you.
Didn't like this guy from the beginning. So committing more crimes, using their powers to commit more crimes. Oh, his EMP powers. Oh, and invisibility, cloaking. Great.
Warden Cote needs to know the truth.
Can we trust Cote? I think with Larry, it seems like more obvious, like exploitation and evil doing, but
Telling me that I would never be able to compete with everyone's powers and intellect, that I was weak. Maybe it was right. I don't believe that. You have to say that. You're my girlfriend.
No, I don't.
So I found a piece of shrapnel. It reminded me of Jimmy's guardian shield. Because you are strong, and you are smart, and you are powerful. Hey.
I loved them. I just want that to be known. I loved them. I loved them with every fiber of my being. I loved them.
That I will do a full internal investigation once the alien escapees have been captured.
I don't understand why you can't just see the truth.
You just need to drop this.
No, he has to be behind this in some way. He's got stakes. He's got stakes of some kind.
I'm sorry our conversation got interrupted by that vicious owl.
I'm not.
We were just about to make a deal.
No, you weren't.
But no thanks.
Finally see your mom for 24 hours, don't you
But
want
then,
that?
what does she get in those 24
each other.
hours? What does Nixley get? Like a reboot? Like a recharge of power?
The wise understand by themselves, Nia.
It
Fools
talks!
follow the words of others.
Oh, the owl speaks! The owl of wisdom!
Owls will bring to light what is in the dark.
The owl of wisdom!
Wisdom lies not in seeing things, but in seeing through them.
Shut up.
I don't know.
You can trust me.
Trust your instincts, Nia. Trust your instincts. Oh, yeah. Oh. Attack of the owl. Attack of the owl of wisdom.
Our readers need hard-hitting and truthful reporting now more than ever. Then let us do our job instead of making us chase the super friends around. They aren't the story. The more we have,
the better our ratings, the better our bottom line. And that's the reality.
Joey, stop this. Joey, I'm warning you.
Oh no, Joey. Oh, Jesus.
What are you doing? I'm suppressing his powers.
Well, don't.
No, he is fine.
I came to check on Joey, and I am glad I did.
I don't think you're
He's
fit to take
obviously
care of kids.
terrified about his brother. And this is how you treat him? I wonder how your bosses would feel about your teaching methods if they ever saw the security videos.
Do you think anyone has time to look at what goes on in here?
If you're not going to protect these children...
I have been working in this system longer than you've been alive. So go ahead. I wish you all the best.
Please let Kelly rescue all these children. Just take them away from her hands.
Maybe you should bring those workers back and we could make up a story and go back to the way it was.
Yeah, Chief Dickbag over here. Or Officer Dickbag, rather. Oh, is this Kelly? Please tell me that's Kelly. Is that has to be Kelly? Yeah, that has to be Kelly. In a biker suit with a biker helmet, riding a bike. Oh god, is she gonna do this entire thing with a helmet? That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Yeah. Wait, is it Kelly or is it Alex? Could it be Alex? Oh, downloading the files. It's Kelly! It's Kelly! It's Kelly, yes. She's good. She is so very good. She is golden. She is golden.
I'll deactivate your power dampening cuffs and you'll be free.
Lies.
You have my word.
No one's going anywhere.
We're getting out of here, but not with you.
Not with... No, guys, come on. They're on your side. Oh, God's sake.
We just want to help.
Like, we haven't heard that before.
Oh, yeah. See, okay, you can't blame them. Yeah, trust issues. Severe trust issues.
The system doesn't care. It never has, and it never will. I begged social services for help. But they didn't listen. And who's gonna rent a place to a guy making minimum wage? So I tried to rob a store. When you're desperate, you'll do anything. I believe what they said. That the work release program would be the answer to Joey and me being together again. It turned out to be another lie.
I mean, realistically, I don't know how willing they'd be to actually listen to yet another voice, but still.
Please. Don't let us down.
I won't.
I'm angry that criminals were allowed to infiltrate a worthwhile program like Second Chances, but I'm glad that it will continue with new oversight.
That's good.
What do you think should be done with the alien workers?
I don't know how that security video ended up in my supervisor's inbox. It's
Take her away.
fake.
Take her away.
I mean,
That's
somebody
right.
must
Take
have
her away.
hacked my computer.
Is she really gone for good?
For the goodest of good.
You all deserve to be protected by someone who cares about you.
Come here.
What are you doing here?
Judge pardoned me. Said it was unfair what they did to me and the others. Which means I'm out. Never going back.
She did it. They all did it. They all did it.
You did all this, didn't you?
No. She's very observant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't worry, I'll keep your secret. This house needed a guardian angel, and now we have you.
Oh, Jesus, God. Oh, God damn it. That was good. That was cathartic as all hell. Oh boy, okay.
This community needs someone who is willing to fight for them, even when the system isn't listening.
Yeah.
It's time to pick up where Jimmy left off.
Becoming Guardian!
I'm gonna be the new Guardian.
What does she got? What does she have? Is it a shield? Is it a new shield? Is it a new gauntlet? Is it a new gauntlet? What is it? 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 Is it a new gauntlet? The helmet!
The moment I saw you use that shield during Crisis, I had a hunch that this might be coming, and he sent this for you.
He sent the
I don't
helmet
think there's
back.
anyone better fit to be the next Guardian.
Except I love you.
I will see how you feel after we start your training.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'll be good. Oh, she's gonna be the new
To Guardian.
To Guardian.
It's empty, but to Guardian. To Guardian. It's empty, but still, thought counts. So, yeah. She's gonna be so good. She's gonna look so good, and she's gonna be so good. Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Can you bring my mom back for 24 hours?
Imps never break their deals.
Mm-mm.
Are you in?
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Listen to the Owl of Wisdom. Listen to the Owl of Wisdom. Oh, no, Nia. The Owl. The Owl of Wisdom. No.
I'm in.
No, you don't want to be in with her, Nia. No, you really should have spoken to someone about this stuff before you went ahead and made a decision. Wow. Wow. Okay, you know what I mean? You know, I had high expectations for an episode with Kelly Olsen returning. But damn, that was good. That was good. That was good. Yeah, and especially like it being a Kelly-centric episode too. I love that. I love that kind of character content. I love that kind of content in general. Just Ozzy fucking nailed this. She nailed. I think it's nothing exclusive or unique to this episode. Like every time she's on screen as Kelly, she always tries to portray that character in the best light and in the best, most authentic kind of portrayal as possible. And she really gives it her all, and she really kind of shows people who Kelly is meant to be, and who, you know, like when what she's meant to be. So it's like, as per usual, she nails it, but with this episode, she nailed it. Easily just one of my favorite characters out of this entire show. Easily one of my favorites out of this entire show. And yeah, and just like the work she does as Kelly Olsen, and the work she's about to do as Guardian is just like, as Kelly Olsen, she's one of a kind, but as Guardian, she's about to knock some people's socks off. She's about to, you know, sweep people off their feet. So yeah, but yeah, and of course, as per usual, Danson, Alex and Kelly just really kind of just setting like the kind of like really high standards for what a good, lovable, authentic couple should be, and just like showing off what a super lovable kind of couple should be, like always constantly supporting each other and being there for each other, and reassuring each other of their future successes, and the kind of like the, you know, just making sure that they're not taken too far back by their setbacks, and they're not too intimidated by any failures or any potential failures or anything like that. So just always making sure to be in each other's corners, and always making sure to prop each other up, and to, you know, elevate, and just to be as amazing and as beautiful as they are. Just when you thought TV romance was dead, and then Danson comes swinging in with a hammer and a shield and whatever else they can muster up, and they just come, romance isn't dead. Romance is being reinvented right now. It's being reinvented. You know, of course, they're not the only couple in TV to do that, I know, but still, you know, the newer TV still kind of carrying that flag with them, carrying the flag of love with them wherever they go. So that's really good to see. And they are adorable. They're adorkable. They're fucking adorkable. I want to say they were playing Pictionary at the beginning, because I think it reminds me. Like the concept of it reminds me somewhat of Pictionary, even though I've never played Pictionary. But I think Pictionary, I mean, I guess that's the same thing, right? Like someone describes something to you, or like, you know what I mean? Because I was gonna say charades, but then you're not allowed to talk during charades. You literally have to like actually minimize it down to like descriptors and words and labels and all these sort of things. So I think Pictionary seems more accurate to that, but then I don't know if it was exactly Pictionary or if Pictionary has its own set of rules, but either way, it was probably game night at their own place, and you know, they were thriving after having moved in with each other, which you always love to see. So that was really cool. And yes, I think I actually forgot to mention this before the reaction, but yeah, I had actually given her orientation thing like a little bit further kind of speculation, like Alex mentioning she'd been at orientation for social services. I think my go-to theory was, oh, maybe they're actually looking to adopt a kid, maybe they have to actually go to orientation. But then, you know, I think digging further into that, I thought, you know, surely then they would want both parents, like both potential parents to be there, or maybe, but then even then if it was, I think I feel like it's still like they're not even engaged yet, so it still feels like, you know, like that's still somewhere along the horizon, even though it's something that they both can see or could see, it's still along the horizon. I thought, and then I was actually thinking about, as of so far, Alex doesn't really seem to have any other job besides from being Sentinel. Like, she doesn't actually have any other job that actually pays the bills. So then I was wondering, like, you know, what does she do? But then I was wondering, wait, what does Kelly do? Because then I remembered Kelly used to work at Obsidian, but then post season 5, that shit went underground. So she herself, I think, because then I was wondering, you know, like could she work at she probably could work at Catco, but then would she work at Catco? I don't know if she'd go back into working under Andrea, or if she'd go back to, or if she would really want anything with Catco, or like with that kind of huge kind of conglomerate or anything. But then I was wondering, you know, oh, does Kelly still have a job after Obsidian? But then I remembered the social services thing, and then I remembered, oh yeah, you can definitely still get jobs within social services, and then orientation would still definitely make sense. So then, yeah, I was like, okay, it must have been a job thing. It must have been an actual career thing. So yeah, and I think, and social services too, like, you know, Kelly with her own, with her, I said get out of it, god damn it. With Kelly again, with Alex kind of, you know, reiterating that, you know, Kelly's superpower is empathy. She's super empathetic and super passionate and super caring about people. It's one of her best qualities as both Kelly Olsen and as Guardian too. So, and especially as Kelly Olsen, like, you know, she definitely would be up for, is it in my eye? I don't know. She would definitely be up for any kind of job where she'd be able to help people, especially kids. She would absolutely love helping kids. So it definitely makes sense that she'd go into a job like social services. So yeah, and then she had her first client, who was a little kid. So yeah, Danson, awesome. Kelly also, Kelly Olsen, also awesome. So yeah, so her new job was social services, and then her first child. I mean, could have still been 10 years old. I initially heard 10 years old, but then the woman at the actual orphanage did mention 10 alien kids. I think I don't know if they're all 10 or some of them are 10, or maybe just like the one solid fact I do know is that there were actually 10 alien kids. So I think it was like probably like an orphanage solely filled with alien kids and everything. So yeah, and that orphanage was not good. I mean, the orphanage was essentially just like a miniaturized version of the for-profit prison, but both of them being power dampened, both of them being kind of, you know, exploited, especially like that woman abusing alien kids with powers. And also, like, in her instance, her doing it simply for power too. Her doing it simply for the power, simply for having control over them, and also knowing that because it's still the kind of city and still the kind of that society that doesn't really kind of pay as much attention to alien residents as much as human residents. Her knowing that, you know, that the orphanage wouldn't be supervised as much, or that I mean, she said that, you know, people wouldn't really even bother to check what's on the CCTV either. But then I think for her own, like in her own mind as a precaution, she also did take the liberty of actually trying to delete those trying to delete that footage too. So then that way, even if someone did, they wouldn't see anything. So then she can easily pass it off as, oh yeah, you know, people don't care enough to look, or even if they do, they don't find anything. But yeah, no, that woman was the worst. That woman was the absolute fucking worst. So. And I love that one girl, I think her name was Esme, she just took, she was already on like a fast track to becoming like a lawyer, or some kind of, probably a lawyer, because I think her just intricate and like solid knowledge of the rule book, being like, you know, we have rights, and this is an infringement of those rights, so like rights to food and rights to equal portions and equal sharings and everything. Like she already, you know, growing. I mean, on the one hand, it's kind of sad to think about that their child has to think like that, but then I think for her though, it's probably just like her way of actually standing stronger and actually making sure that, you know, she actually does get treated equally and fairly every time. So I mean, props to her for still managing to climb into that kind of, you know, self-appointed position of power. But, you know, even outside of that, you know, she was all rules and stability with the woman in charge. But then with Kelly, she was just, you know, butterflies and daisies, all sweet and kind, and naturally kind of, you know, friendly and then approaching and everything. And it's like, yeah, like that first sign that, you know, she just naturally takes a sign, takes what's it called? I had it on my mind. I had it on the tip of my tongue. She naturally takes to Kelly. She naturally just takes to Kelly. She knows that Kelly's there for good reasons, and she's a good person. She's there to help, and she's actually someone she can trust. So, you know, just easily one of the highlights of that entire sequence as one of the episodes. So that was really great. That was really great. And then yeah, that brings us to her client. I guess, I mean, she did still call him her client too. Her client. I think his name was Joey. I think Joey. I think his name was Joey. Joey and then Orlando. Yeah, Joey and then Orlando. Yeah, Joey and Orlando. I remembered it. I knew it. I knew the kid's name. I remember the kid's name, and the kid seemed eerily familiar too. I think. I didn't really want to say anything, but I think the kid reminded me of the same little kid that played young Connor Hawke on Arrow. I don't know if that's, I think, because I feel like that kid should be older by now, but I think the kid, this one looked eerily similar to that kid too, the one who actually played, and I think he sounded like vaguely similar. He sounded like somewhat similar, but I think he looked more similar than he sounded similar. I think. And I feel like if I was saying kid, he probably should have grown up by now. Maybe they just were lucky enough to still catch him before he looked too old. But I don't know. He just seemed somewhat similar. So yeah. But either way, that was Joey. That was Joey, and him and his brother are both aliens with EMP powers. So that's, you know, good for them, but not cool, because it's been, you know, like, the powers have been exploited and abused and misused in this episode. So with him, he had kind of I think he kind of had bags under his eyes too. So I think the connection between them, I think I wonder then if the connection is the connection itself seems kind of interesting too. Whenever Orlando uses powers, then Joey, maybe as a reflex he uses powers too, or maybe as a reflex his powers activate in some way, and then that kind of causes a lash out or an outburst or something. Because I think the woman mentioned that Joey actually shut down the power for 10 blocks or something for the night, or for a week or something. So, you know, I think maybe for him it might be more of a connected reflexive outburst too. So when his brother is using powers, that kind of that feedback is maybe looped back in through Joey, and then he kind of lets loose that he doesn't know how to control it. But then all the kids have power dampeners too, and the power dampeners are not being put to good use either. The power dampeners, I think the power dampeners are remote control too. So I mean that kind of points into higher into more abusive levels of control too, because usually with power dampeners, the powers won't come out no matter what, and then it's usually safer, and they're not in any way meant to hurt the person wearing them. It's literally meant to be the actual definition of a precaution. But in this case, the power dampeners are remote control, so then the powers can still come out, but then when they do, the woman can just press a button, and then the powers are forced back in a way that actually kind of has more negative feedback. So for this woman, I think I mean, given how gleefully and how happily she's using these under the guise of control and teaching kids the consequences of their actions. Because I mean, you can teach kids consequences of actions without hurting them. Lessons like that don't have to come through pain. That is just clear-cut child abuse. So, seeing how gleefully and how happily she's using that method of control just kind of goes to show that she actively sought out those particular kinds of power dampeners where she could actually let the powers bleed out, but then force them back in just to actually try and teach the kids a lesson or something. And then even kind of pointing out that that Kelly doesn't know how hard it is actually trying to keep 10 alien kids under control, and then also using that and the lack of monitoring for an orphanage with alien kids as a reason to actually abuse them free of charge and free of any kind of actual consequence, because then she always deletes the videos anyway. So that woman was the worst. That woman was the utter worst. But yeah, so the powers were flexing out and going out of control. So then Joey needed urgent help, but then he also knew that his brother was in trouble too, because he had bags under his eyes from, those kind of bags too can also can come from lack of an actual consistent sleep schedule and being overworked in general as well. But then with Orlando being an alien with these powers, it's also his powers being exploited specifically as well. So that whole story too, the whole kind of the abuse of prisoners within for-profit prisons, and like the for-profit prison system being manipulated and exploited in this way, and having like just little to no supervision whatsoever, and then that allows like outside influences to come in and do whatever they want with these prisons, because then they can like get money in and put money in and get money out too. So that whole thing going on, and like the abuse of prison workers too, like overworking prisoners who go into that kind of labor. Because then again, I think also the fact that the what's it called, the work release program, I think the second chance program, I think that again, that concept is actually like that actually sound like that sounds exactly like what prison should be used for. Because prison, especially these days, like prison is defined too much as a place of punishment as opposed to rehabilitation. So like a program like Second Chances would actually be the best way to actually conduct a prison kind of system as a whole, like actually like teaching, like actually rehabilitating prisoners, actually helping them, and actually teaching them to like re-enter the world, the outside world again with new skills, like that kind of program. I'm pretty sure it actually does exist in the real world too, and likely even with problems like this where workers are exploited in various ways, and then just used for various different things off the records and off the books, and in ways that higher ups would either control it, or they would just kind of overlook it and be like, if you turn your shoulder, then you don't need to worry about anything at all. So see, anything, even the warden of this, I was skeptical about the warden for some time, he's either in this in a major way, or he has some kind of stakes in this, and then for him if he was definitely being influenced by Bruno Mannheim, the outside influence, and then in that case I was wondering maybe he's been told you turn your cheek at this and no one has to know about a thing, you don't have to worry, you get to keep your career, you get to keep the money too. So maybe he was just being bribed into it, or just coaxed into getting more money for not saying anything, so that there was that thing. But then he also didn't. He kind of want to have to he was then easily manipulated because of the amount of because of the lack of supervision that for-profits have. He was then easily manipulated into actually helping with all these operations too. But Second Chance program, again, it sounds exactly like, it sounds like the baseline of what a prison should be too, like the overall just general concept of rehabilitation too, actually kind of that kind of thing, like actually teaching prisoners to be able to come back from their crimes, and to actually teach them to be able to be people again, and to actually like therapy perhaps too, actually teaching them that crimes don't have the crimes they commit don't have to be who they are, and they're not inherently bad people. Because again, so many people go in face worse punishments for the crimes that they've actually committed, and and sometimes even on the inside they can be exploited to do even worse things, like they were the alien workers here were being exploited to actually to steal ingredients like a dirty bomb, and to steal and to kill if need be too. And that officer Larry Chapman, I don't care what his name was, he was just bad news straight from the beginning. Just had it written all over his face. So there was that. But the Second Chance thing again. Yeah, the Second Chance thing sounds again just it is. By definition, is just a great program to have for prisoners, especially those who actively want to, feel the desire to actually push forward and to start a new life, to turn over a new page, and to rehabilitate themselves, and actually try and enter the world with a second chance again. Like that kind of program actually sounds ideal, and it sounds again like more of a baseline for what prison should be. And I think it that is exactly. I can't remember where it is. I think it's somewhere in Europe. I think it's Sweden. Is it Sweden, or Sweden or Switzerland, or I think maybe is it Poland, or I don't know. One of like somewhere in that area. I don't know if those countries actually stand in any kind of geographical conjunction with one another. But in one of those European countries, I think that is actually exactly what the prison system is like. Like the cells themselves are actually super comfortable. They have desks and chairs and a comfy bed, and I think something they even have a TV and everything. But the overall prison system there is actually purely focused on rehabilitation in itself. I think I vaguely remember actually mentioning this in another reaction video at some point, but I'm going to mention it again because it's good and it's super interesting. But I think their prison system is actually just 100% focused on rehabilitation, actually teaching prisoners to be new again, to turn over a new leaf, to, you know, like serve an actual fair and accurate and just kind of sentence for whatever crimes they've committed, but then actually teaching them to, you know, become new and to actually pay their penance and to actually do the right thing again, and actually educating them, to actually giving them courses and different qualifications that they can actually, so that way when they actually like exit prison and re-enter the real world, they had that much more of a higher chance of actually being able to step into a new life almost immediately too. So I think, again, like that kind of prison system, you know, it's, you know, I mean, you want to say in an ideal world, but then over there they're already living in that ideal world. They're like over there they're already teaching they're already teaching people who have committed crimes to actually learn from their mistakes and to learn from their crimes and to actually be better people again. So it's very much possible, but then when you have for-profit prisons, you know, then you have people who just exploit, exploit that system in any way they can, and then exploit the prisons too. I think in those countries where that kind of system, where that kind of rehab system for prison exists, I think I've heard that the crime rate is actually just like little, like it is actually that, it's that much lower. It's actually like I think less than 20 or 10% or something, and I think it's because of the fact that the prison actually focuses on rehabilitating people. They're like over punishing people, so people are like, you know, I've heard funny stories of people actually being like, you know, like, damn, like this actually makes me want to go over there and commit a crime just so I can actually visit these nice prisons. But then in reality, like, you know, people do genuinely actually bounce back better from those kinds of prison systems compared to anywhere else where they'd be overworked and or punished even harder, or, you know, discriminated against or anything else. So I think the exploration of this kind of broken and corrupt and unruly kind of prison system in this was really well done. And it goes to like just how harmful it is on the people inside, and just how much more people on top have to gain from this level of exploitation. So them exploring a storyline like this in a show like this with characters like these is just, again, it's just really good to watch and really interesting kind of content. So, and I love that Kelly was also the one actually going into it too. Like Kelly actually initially starting out being a kid, but then actually going into like actually uncovering like a deeper conspiracy and having all the super friends by her side too, or at least the half of them and stuff. And actually then, you know, actually her and Kara, like Kelly and Kara in this episode, just one of many amazing duos. I think, you know, like duos I really want to see are Kelly and Kara and Kelly and Nia, because Kelly gets along, again, she gets along with everyone. So Kelly and Kara, check this episode, great, check off the list. And Kelly and Nia, I really want to see more Kelly and Nia, because we had a tease, what ended up being a tease, what was not meant to be a tease, but we had what ended up being a tease in season 5, and then I'm pretty sure season 5, like the first half of season 5. And then that was it. No more Kelly and Nia content. So I need more of a friendship and more partnership between Kelly and Nia. Seeing Dreamer and Guardian working side by side, my god, that would be golden. So yeah. But yeah, the Kelly and Kara kind of cooperation and teamwork in this was just, but yeah, it was amazing. And I also really love them actually using Orlando's perspective too, or Orlando and the other workers in this too. And I think, again, it's you know, it's saddening to see that they don't. I mean, saddening, but it makes sense to see that they don't immediately trust Kara, because then they go into the second chance program with the highest of hopes of like, oh, finally we can actually get a chance to do good and to actually earn like a sooner release or like a better release time, and to actually work for it and to actually, you know, feel like we're achieving something. Even, you know, like the second chance program is actually like the best thing they can get, and then they're even further exploited by the warden and by the other officer dude, and like everyone else actually aware of the fact that everyone else in the system aware of the fact that they have powers, and actually like knowing that they can use those powers to their own advantage, no matter what happens to them. And then because of that, they're even more hesitant to actually listen to Kara and John, and then even Orlando's speech about him actually just him talking about how, you know, like people in and out of the system don't really care about them. They just see like, and especially like more so because of the fact that they're aliens with powers. They just see tools. They just see tools. They just see weapons. They can just see they just see things that they can use and actually see people behind them. Or anything, and the fact that, you know, like the system like even refused him because he was only actually earning minimum wage at the beginning. Like the system actually refused to rent a place to him and his brother. So then he was pushed and pushed and pushed to to desperate measures, and then he actually had to rob a store, and then he had to pay the price for that crime. So like the system has just been stacked against him and his brother ever since his parents died, and he's had not just the rough go, but just like the worst overall go of it since the beginning. So just actually, I think it's great that they had that balance of someone from the outside looking into that system and into the system to see how corrupt it is, but then also someone in the system suffering, actually speaking out and telling his own story and actually expressing his own suffrage and everything. Like having both sides of that story, having both angles of it, really helps to kind of solidify exactly how this episode actually helped to solidify how this episode is actually going to tackle that kind of a story and to tackle that kind of an issue that's all too prevalent in the world today. So they really did a great job. They really did a great job. So yeah. And then yeah, Kelly saves the kids. Kelly being the guardian angel, as May so eloquently and so aptly and so accurately dubbed her as the guardian angel. She rode up on the bike. I mean, because the thing, I did remember that Alex actually did buy her. I think for one of the anniversaries, for the anniversary or like a birthday or something, Alex actually did buy her a bike, a helmet, and everything. So I was actually curious. Okay, could this be good? Because she's driving up to the house, and we see Joey in the windows. Then obviously Kelly being the one with an actual connection to Joey, it has to be her. And then she looks so good in the bike suit and the helmet and riding up on the bike and everything. But then I was wondering, could this maybe then be Alex actually helping Kelly do this? Could it actually be her actually jumping in, actually doing her a favor and everything? But then no. But then she actually lifts the mask or the helmet up, and we see her face, and it's all Kelly. It's all 100% pure Kelly Olsen, in all of her purity and all of her goldenness. It's all her, and she's hacking into the camera system and getting all those video files that pesky abusive woman actually tried to delete and everything, and then she's getting those, and she's actually helping Joey, and she's being a hero. She's saving those kids, and she likely handed those files into social services and actually managed to get an accurate report on the woman, and then that woman was carted away as she deserves to be. And yeah, oh god, the scene that scene just made me shed tears. That scene just made me shed tears. It really just made me tear up and just kind of just ache in my heart, because she just goes so far to help so many people, and she just is, and she managed to reunite Orlando and Joey. And he even said that the judge actually managed to pardon him. He actually got released with a pardon because how he was treated within the program and within the prison was deemed as correctly unfair and everything. So he actually managed to get a pardon. So he's free again. He's a free man. He can easily. I don't know if he actually mentioned he could actually get a house now, but either way, he's free and he's reunited with his brother, and now he can hopefully get more adequate financial support and social services support and whatever to actually try and get a house for them and to actually live a more colourful and brightful and more fair and equal life. So that was just knowing that Kelly was able to do it. I mean, not alone, clearly, because she had Alex's help at time to time. She had Kara's help as well. Like her and Kara's teamwork really kind of pulled through there. And of course Kara and of course Supergirl and Martian Manhunter actually going in and stopping the intergang crimes from happening, actually rescuing the workers and everything too. But Kelly Olsen, she led the charge. She led the fucking charge in this episode, and my heart is aching. My heart is genuinely kind of pounding and aching in my chest. I just can't with this. I think it's one of the things that this show actually does manage to do right. Actually providing characters with a lot of growth and a lot of compassion and heart. And I think with this being Supergirl, Supergirl being that kind of beacon for hope and compassion and truth and everything like that, I think it only makes sense that she surrounds herself with people that follow the same ideals, and Kelly is, and I know, how she was born, if she was actually just dropped, from the heavens like an angel, or what happened, but Kelly she is contagious with compassion. She's contagious with compassion. She just infects everyone with it, and she just kind of spreads her love and joy, and God damn it, yeah. Just yeah, that ending, and especially Esme just going up to her and actually, actually being like, you did this, didn't you? You actually did. You uploaded those videos, and you did a sneaky, and you pulled a sneaky on the old mean lady, and you uploaded all of her, videos, to social service, and you got her arrested like she should have been. And everything. And it's like, you're a guardian angel. You're the guardian angel. This city, this town, these kids, we kids actually need. So. That very clearly gave her the actual kind of heads up to be the new Guardian. So I'm very, very glad. I think this episode serves as the pitch perfect setup among others. Among other episodes, it actually serves as the pitch perfect setup for Kelly to be Guardian 2. Actually shows why she's doing this. It gives you a perfect indication as to why she's doing this, and also as to why she feels she could even do more as Guardian 2. So yeah, just that ending was just beautiful. Just art. It was art. And then of course, once she gets home and she's spending the night with Alex, she does then announce that this new achievement of hers, this new kind of stride in her work and her ability to help others, has also inspired her to actually try and pick up where James left off, and she is going to be the new Guardian. She's going to be the new Guardian. So I mean, I won't lie, I have seen glimpses. Like low res kind of glimpses ish, like paparazzi shots of her somewhat in costume. So I have seen that, and I think at some point Ozzy herself actually did actually post an actual fully polished kind of promo picture of her in the Guardian suit too. I think I actually might have caught that somewhere. But then there were also other low res pap shots of her on set in the costume too. I think with those ones she was with a lot of other people, and it was kind of harder to see more intricate details. So I'm glad. But then I think I do vaguely remember seeing the one promo that Ozzy herself actually posted after having filmed that episode as well. So yeah, I am all the more excited to see it once the episode comes out. I think I don't know when that's going to be. If they're going to do it next week or the week after, or if it's going to if it's a finale type thing, then by God help us, they better give us a spin-off. They better fucking give us a spin-off of some kind. They better. There is, for one thing, there's no way they introduce Guardian Kelly in the latter half of the final season, and then that's it. And for another thing, there's no way they introduce her to us in the finale, and then that's it. Either way happens, no way that is it. There has to be more with her and Sentinel and Dreamer. As of right now, that is my kind of alternate kind of spin-off kind of request slash dream. Dreamer, Sentinel, and Guardian all in one spin-off. Maybe then. I mean, some people do want Dreamer to join Legends. That's also equally cool. Some people want Dreamer to have her own spin-off. That's also equally cool with me. I mean, if it was all three of them in one, maybe with Brainy on the side too, Brainy with Dreamer. But then Dreamer, Sentinel, and Guardian, they would be the three musketeers of National City. They would easily be the three musketeers of National City, and then they would get up to so much shit and kick so much ass and have so much fun and just be the best super friends team in National City and everything. And I think again, I mean, maybe even having like Brainy and Jean in the background too, like them two being at the Watchtower, but then Dreamer and Sentinel and Guardian actually going out, being like Jean's angels, being like Charlie's angels or something in this, like that. Oh god, that Charlie's Angels, but Dreamer, Sentinel, and Guardian. Am I setting myself up for disappointment here? Am I really setting myself up for some kind of inevitable disappointment? Because then sounds like a solid idea to me. But then I feel like maybe the CW. I mean, knowing the CW, I don't know if that's in their plans. But then I mean, hey, if HBO can help produce a Superman Loves thing, HBO can do Charlie's Angels, but with Sentinel, Guardian, and Dreamer. Give it to me. Inject it into my vein. Inject it into every vein you can find. I don't care. I mean, it would hurt having that many needles, but I don't care. Inject into every vein you can find. Just give me that spin-off. Charlie's Angels, but make it but make it Dreamer, Sentinel, and Guardian. Just give it to me. Give it to me, please. But yeah, she announced she would be Guardian, and then Alex. Luckily, I think Alex actually mentioned that she had actually contacted James beforehand, and then he had actually kind of sent out, I think, something. I'm hoping it's not just the helmet. He had sent on the helmet. And that looks really cool. And I think the eyes look different too. I don't know if he actually sent down his helmet or like a modified version of it. I think modified version sounds more accurate, but I think with this one, I think, because I think I remember with James's kind of helmet, actually had like an actual single kind of Cyclops style kind of eye slit where his eyes were, but with this one, it actually seems like they've got like more accurately kind of proportioned and shaped kind of eye holes. So I'm wondering if that's actually like an actual altercation, an alteration for Kelly's suit. But then we haven't seen the suit either yet, so I think I think her one does it, and like it actually does have the gold and the black kind of color scheme to it too. So I can't remember if it's all of it. I think she might have a golden shield. I think like the shield alone is pretty big, so it's pretty hard to miss. But I think it might be a golden shield. I can't remember if it's actually I think it might maybe like a gold mixed kind of body kind of suit, and then maybe the helmet is silver, or maybe like I think the shoulder pads or something. But I think it's like a mixture of actual gold and black. So it's like it's properly her. It's not like a rehash, it's kind of like a rebrand, but also her owning the rebrand and actually her taking that mantle upon herself as well. So yeah, Guardian Kelly is fucking coming, and I am waiting. I am waiting for that episode. I am waiting for that content. I am waiting to see just how awesome she is alongside Supergirl and Dreamer and Sentinel and Brainy and Jean as well. So all the the Super Friends are about to have another member. Andrea better make some space on that board for another Super Friends member coming in. She better make some space on that board. So yeah, but yeah, I could easily spend like an extra hour or two just gushing over Kelly this entire episode. It's very much possible. It's very much possible. I could easily gush over her endlessly and lovingly and just endlessly. But Kelly, just props to Ozzy. Fucking hats off and props to Ozzy. She can do no wrong. She can do no wrong. She doesn't know how to not play the character well. She always puts her all into it. She always plays it with heart and soul and passion and devotion and authenticity. So I just really can't wait to see what the rest of the series actually holds for Kelly. And for Ozzy too. I'm hoping these characters do garner attention well enough for like a spin-off to be kind of procured and everything. But for now, most of all, just hoping that the rest of the series actually does do justice to these characters and actually helps them and actually gives us a good enough amount of Kelly as herself and as Guardian 2. So I really cannot wait. I really cannot wait. And then going on to Nia, we had Nia. We had Nia just with Nia. Nia and Nixley, but no matter how much of her we saw out in the real world, we never saw her like contacting or interacting with any of the Super Friends at all about her confliction and everything. She was just constantly going in and out of the dream world and seeing her mother and running through like a very misty forest and everything. And then she ran into Nixley, so. Yeah, and I think her narcolepsy was back to with Brainy having personally taken with Brainy being gone, having personally taken Zor-El to Argo, and then Lena being gone in Ireland and discovering her heritage and her birthplace and everything. Again, this is where like a friendship. I think again, partnership and friendship between Nia and Kelly would have really actually shone here. So I'm hoping again, like next episode, if Brainy and Lena still aren't back. I'm hoping we can actually get some quality primetime Nia and Kelly content. So yeah, give that to me too. Give me all of this. Give me all of this. So yeah, that's really fun. But I mean, she I think her narcolepsy was coming back, and she was even sleeping standing still. And yeah, I mean, of course, there's the embarrassment behind it, and also the professionalism aspect that kind of goes away because of the fact that she's doing it. But then she's sleeping standing still. I mean, granted, her hand was on the chair, so she had some support with balance, but still sleeping standing up, still, and like an impressive skill. But like sleeping on the job. Highly unadvised, and then she was caught red-handed, caught in 4K in 65 frames per second, and just all the evidence in the world and everything. So it wasn't her shining moment, but she I think she did admit, I think even at the party, that her narcolepsy was kind of coming back, and she was still falling asleep and everything. So there was that, and then each time she did fall asleep, she did also kind of go back into her little kind of vision in the forest with her mother and everything. But this time we had Nixley too. Nixley come back. So Nixley is back now, and apparently it seems like she's going to invade the real world through Nia's dream state and using Nia as well to actually get into the real world. So that's unideal. That's a problem. And apparently fifth dimensional imps can also access the dream world too. So like I think maybe it's like very few beings can very few actual beings can, regardless of whether or not they actually incorporate dream power. But then Nortorians and imps as well, fifth dimensional imps can actually. I don't know if there are other imps like fourth dimensional or third dimensional. I mean, well, they live in the third dimension, but yeah, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional, sixth. I don't know how long the dimensions go for, but either way, fifth dimensional imps can actually access the dream world too. So that's fun. But yeah, so Nixley, Nixley had actually, so I think by crossing over from the Phantom Zone to the real world, like she couldn't immediately go into the real world, so then by default she was then naturally kind of stuck in kind of dream, in Nia's kind of dream limbo, and actually kind of forced to inhabit that place until Nia actually made a deal with her and everything, so that was her issue, so yeah, Nixley's offer. So she also noticed the content and the nature of Nia's dreams too, like the fact that she was missing her mother, and then she wanted her mother back, and she wanted to actually talk to her and communicate with her again, actually be with her again. So she made her an offer. She made her an offer that she literally could not refuse. She literally offered Nia that she would actually be able to bring her mother back for no more than 24 hours. So 24 hours. I think that honestly, right off the bat, that sounds more like a power vacuum thing too. Like actually manifesting something from. I mean, Nia's mum's dead too, so I mean, she probably would be coming back from the land of the dead, or like from. I mean, probably not from unlikely from hell, but still like from the land of the dead where souls are gone, or like from heaven maybe. But I mean, besides from Constantine stuff and Legends, they haven't really kind of explored anything apart from hell. Haven't really touched upon heaven as of yet, but I think still Nia's mother's soul is in the land of the dead, so bringing like opening up that kind of dimension, and then bringing like a soul back from there and actually reincarnating into a soul's body again maybe, and actually doing stuff like that would be a risky thing. And even Nia pointing out that like resurrection and actually altering with timelines and altering with material reality, and then bringing stuff in that you're not meant to, very risky business, highly unadvised even for the most advanced of dreamers or whatever. So that kind of thing is very, very kind of ill-advised. So yes, I think naturally, and luckily, Nia was very, very skeptical. Like for the first few times that she was in and out of that dream state, she was highly skeptical and highly suspicious of Nixley, and she didn't really especially not knowing her, she didn't really know whether she could trust her. And then her offer to actually do some really, really insane magic to bring back a dead loved one, didn't really kind of instill any more confidence in her or any more faith in her. So she was very, very very rightfully mistrustworthy of her. So that was good to see to begin with. But then I think as time goes on, I think again it's like it also kind of made me wonder like why she wouldn't have at least called up someone, like maybe why she wouldn't have at least called up Kara or called up Jean or someone. And I think maybe she knew about the fact that maybe she knew that they were actually that as the Super Friends, they were at the Watchtower handling a very, very sensitive kind of case, so she didn't want to interrupt them. But then maybe as Kara Danvers, maybe she knew that Kara was dealing with Andrea's kind of Super Friends business and everything. So I think maybe she just knew that people were busy and she didn't really want to interrupt them or have to make them take time out of the day for her. So yeah, so then she decided to take this one. I mean, and I think I guess it's a good sign because it shows some kind of independence as a person. So it actually shows some independence of like her actually thinking for herself and actually thinking what she wants, but also about. I mean, again, she didn't say yes initially and do it out of a reflex or anything. She she actually did decline a fair amount of time before she then succumbed to like a yes. So I think she did initially think it through, and actually think it through like an actual rational and reasonable person, actually thinking about the risks and thinking about the fact that she doesn't know her, and then like whether or not she should actually trust, and like an imp as well. So. And even Nixley's kind of argument, being like, how would you feel if your entire race was judged for one thing or a couple of things here and there? So immediately throwing the stereotype thing back in her face. So that happened. But yeah, I think she did think about it. She did think and decline, but then eventually she did actually kind of like she wanted this thing too bad. Like I think deep down she wanted this too bad, and she also kind of I think maybe deep down she's also thinking that oh, if something does go wrong, then I'm gonna like run through scenarios in my head of what to do if something does go wrong, or if Nixley does turn out to be evil. So that way she's actually that much more prepared, and then maybe actually like as soon as she gets out, she actually tells the team too, so that they can be prepared. But then there's no telling how quick to work Nixley will get. I mean, there's no telling if Nixley's even telling the truth. There is no telling if imps actually do have the power to resurrect people or to resurrect anyone, and maybe it's just her light to actually get her back into the into the third dimension, actually, onto Earth and everything, where she can actually recharge her powers and stuff. And maybe even then it's going to be like, oh, she's going to pretend to resurrect her mother, but then it's actually going to be like her just like secretly garnering power and summoning power and then wreaking some chaos and everything. So then. But then, that's going to make Nia end up feeling even more guilty and everything, and that's going to make her feel like it's all of her fault that she just kind of had to trust the villain, or she just had to trust someone, or she just had to she had to let her feelings get in the way of the safety of the people, and then that's going to set her off and everything. So I think that is also the kind of place where Kelly and Nia partnership will come in real handy, and at that kind of point. So. Yeah, I guess there's only waiting and seeing, but I mean, we know Nixley, we know that even if she does go through with this, it's not going to be without any kind of catch-all or any kind of catch on her end of her actually using resurrection powers to recharge herself, and then maybe even then she actually does bring out more than she agreed to, or maybe she actually brings out like a corrupt version of Nia's mother or something. So even if she does actually seal her end of the deal, then it's probably going to be in a way that doesn't really suit Nia at all. So. Who knows what who knows what kind of tricks Nixley really has up her back, or up her sleeve. So yeah, and yeah, she killed the Owl of Wisdom too. That really kind of hit me. That like the Owl of Wisdom. I mean, the owl coming in was cool and all, because I think the owl was the same bird that her mother was carrying, so it was like a obvious sign of goodwill and an actual ally in the dream dimension. And then the owl continuously attacking Nixley. But then when the owl started talking, I was like, whoa, it talks, amazing. And then it was just like, not even being like, hey, how you doing? It's all just immediately dropping bars of wisdom and, advice and everything. So that was really cool. And yeah, just trying to be there to actually advise her and be like, the smart. I mean, I can't remember exactly what it said, but the smart do not follow the words of others, but the wise will follow the words of themselves, but then the fools will follow the words of others, something like that. Wise people and fools were compared in some way. So yeah, the Owl of Wisdom really tried, but then Nia just immediately, but then Nia eventually then in the iteration in the dream in the dream run where she actually decides to trust Nixley instead, she then destroys the owl and feathers and all just come flying down, and then she just has to agree to it. So yeah, I'm concerned about what Nixley might be doing in those 24 hours. I think that's also like a pretty specific time window too. I mean, seems pretty baseline, but also pretty specific to 24 hours to actually meet with her mother again, actually communicate with her mother again, and then after that she's gone. But then I do wonder maybe if it's like a trick where, okay, all that stuff does happen and it happens exactly as Nia wants to, but then in that time maybe Nixley's also kind of drawing other beings from the land of the dead or from wherever she's resurrecting Nia's mother from, and then maybe she's actually using that kind of portal as a vacuum to summon more power and then wreak havoc across National City and across Earth and everything, and then the Supermans have to stop her, so then that becomes a whole thing. So I don't know, but Nixley is a trickster. She is just as much of a trickster as Mixie used to be. So yeah, bad signs ahead. But I think it is also just like a pretty on point analysis as to how far Nia has come, and then how far she's been pushed to. Like, you know, like day by day she's just missing her mother, and she's wishing that she could really talk to her and everything. And I think does make me wonder that, you know, like like this might also mean, I mean, because then even if like communication with her mother does happen, I do wonder what they could talk about. I mean, because I think, as far as I know, like all the books that she had were back at her house in Parthas, I think it was called, in her hometown of Parthas. I think in her hometown of Parthas. I think the only people back there are her sister, who she did not have a nice kind of last interaction with at all, and her father too. Her father who actually gave her the suit. Her father who actually handed the suit down to her, because it used to be her mother's and now it's hers. So I do wonder what kind of things her mother might tell her, if she might share some personal experiences, or actually give her some words of wisdom, or if she might even actually encourage her to go back home to actually patch things up with Maeve, and to, you know, talk things through with her, and actually even to visit her father. Because then the books are back there. The books are actually back, like the actual information she needs, or that she could use, is also back there. So then could be a mixture of both. Of like actually giving her wisdom, actually sharing her own experiences, actually sharing her own kind of knowledge, and then actually being like, you know, the best way to do this is together. So then you need to actually, you know, maybe even take your super friends and actually go back there and actually patch things up, and actually try and, you know, like rediscover your own roots by going back home the same way that Lena's gone back home. Or maybe she can take Lena. Maybe she can actually take Lena back to Parthas. Maybe, because I remember I think Lena actually she actually when Nia when Nia actually first mentioned the name of the village, Lena actually seemed to recognize the name, like it was like the same town, the same name as like an Irish town, like an Irish word or something. So I think, you know, like that could be a great opportunity for them to bond too, like actually taking Lena back to Parthas and actually introducing her to the place, and actually, you know, going with her for extra moral support too. So that would be really fun. Lena and Nia going, like, you know, like Lena, and especially Lena coming back from Ireland with a bit more kind of, you know, empowerment and self-discovery and more confidence in herself, and, you know, more power for herself too, like, and her actually using that to help Nia reach the same stage of self-empowerment and graduation and everything. So that would be fun. So I guess we just have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, hey, Lena and Nia, and not even all. Lena and Nia and Kelly. Lena and Nia and Nia and Kelly. So yeah, again, I feel like I'm setting myself up for some kind of disappointment on one end or another. But either way, I'm just laying my expectations out there, laying my expectations and requests out there. So if they listen, they listen. If they don't, then well, screw them. But yeah, that is it. That is pretty much all I have from this one. Great teamwork between Supergirl and Martian Manhunter 2. That was some really great teamwork, and the Andrea thing too. Andrea, yeah, I mean, you know, she wants interviews with super friends, and she wants to actually get specific pieces with them, and not only that, but I think last episode she did also specify wanting like interpersonal relationships with them too, and actually being the first ones that the super friends answer to when they actually do press calls and responses and everything. So Andrea really wants it. I think I'm wondering how she thinks the team might react. Because she's wondering who they are, but then right now I think she's also more focused on working with them before discovering their identities. But then I'm wondering maybe if she, I'm wondering maybe if she can even see herself being a part of the Superman too, because I think she has the Akrata medallion, she has the suit, she has the powers and everything. She's fought them before too, pre-crisis and everything. But you know, I'm wondering maybe if deep down she can maybe even see herself being a part of the team, or being a part of the Super Friends, or in some way and stuff. Maybe if that's what she's actually doing. Because I think maybe that might only happen once she finds out who they are, because then it will make more sense. Right now she just sees them as like a team of heroes that she personally doesn't think she knows who they are yet. So then maybe once she actually finds out who the team are, or maybe if maybe like it's like maybe like if a disaster comes where it's all hands on deck, maybe then she might offer the services of a Kratos or something. So maybe that might be how it happens. But either way, I am really curious to actually know like the CEO of Katko, who also has powers and like a super suit of her own, is now kind of actively seeking. Maybe that's why too. Maybe if like being the CEO of Katko too. Maybe if she can actually kind of first curate like a properly, fully fleshed out working partnership with them, then maybe she can actually progress that onto a relationship and actually introduce herself as a Karate and introduce herself to the team. So maybe it's just like her way of actually social networking with other superheroes or something. So yeah, I don't know, but either way, I think Kara also made an excellent point too. The fact that it's not just about getting the ratings in. It's not just about having the face of the heroes on Catco and on their articles and on their magazines and everything. But it's also about actually making sure it's also about making sure that you're actually using these heroes for the right stories and to actually spread the right message and to actually use them for the right reasons and everything. So a great mixture of both. A great mixture of both. So yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is all I have from this one. So that was very fun, very fun, so very good. Keep this up, and this will be a phenomenal latter half of the series to top it off, and then hopefully leading into more spin-off material and awesome content to come from the other characters that we've yet to see more from. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. So that was Supergirl, Season 6, Episode 9. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Supergirl. Once again, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.